There's a phase many Reiki practitioners enter that almost no one names correctly. It looks like walking away. It feels like distance. Sometimes it even feels like loss. And it often comes with shame, because from the outside it looks like you gave up. But from the inside, something very different is happening. This is what I call the prodigal phase of the Reiki practitioner. Not rebellion, not abandonment, reorientation. The prodigal phase usually begins quietly. You step back from groups. You practice less publicly. You stop explaining yourself, not because you don't care anymore, but because what you cared about no longer fits the way it used to. Reiki doesn't feel wrong, but the structures around it do. The language feels thin. The spaces feel performative. The expectations feel heavy. And instead of forcing yourself to stay, you pull away. This is where many practitioners judge themselves. They call it laziness. They call it burnout. They call it spiritual failure. But often, it's none of those things. The prodigal phase isn't about rejecting Reiki. It's about separating what is essential from what has become noise. In this phase, Reiki often goes quiet, not because the relationship is ending, but because it's becoming more internal, less mediated, less performative, more honest. This is the phase where borrowed language falls away, where techniques stop being automatic, where you're left alone with your awareness and the question, what is this really asking of me now? That question is uncomfortable because there's no script, no group consensus, no external reassurance, just you and your relationship with Reiki. Many practitioners try to rush past this phase. They reattach to familiar systems. They look for a new teacher to replace the old one. They chase novelty to avoid the stillness. But the prodigal phase isn't something you skip. It's something you pass through. Because it's here that Reiki stops being inherited and starts being owned. Not as an identity, not as a role, but as a lived relationship. If you're in this phase, nothing has gone wrong. You haven't fallen away. You've stepped back far enough to see clearly. I talk about this phase and how to return without collapsing back into old patterns in my book, Return of the Prodigal Reiki Practitioners, The Shadow Side of the Reiki Practice. This channel helps you recognize the phase. The book helps you navigate the return with maturity instead of guilt. The prodigal phase isn't the end of practice. It's the shedding of everything that was never meant to stay. And the practitioner who returns after this phase returns with clarity, authority, and a relationship with Reiki that no one else can define for them.